What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Ethereum Classic. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what's really moving it, and some key levels to watch for. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, ETC is up 1.88%. So things are starting to really move higher, despite having lower volume. So in ETC's history, usually lower volume does allude to it kind of going down. So luckily enough, there is a lot of optimism in the broader market. So right now, crypto and fear and greed index is at neutral. So it is at 50. So meaning people's appetite for risk is definitely on the table. And that is why ETC is really moving higher. Alongside many of the main coins such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many others, a lot of those over the last week started to really break out based on the technicals. And ETC, I'll go over their technicals near the end of the video, but a lot of that is because of just the Fed balance sheet and everything that's happening on a macro standpoint. So the Fed's kind of signal that they are just printing continuous money more, and they're kind of expediting it a little bit more. So in general, that's kind of the whole basis of cryptocurrency, right? So at the end of the day, this is causing, despite the kind of volatility in the equity market, this is causing big money to rotate out of that into cryptocurrency. And so that's always a good thing. At the end of the day as well, I always like to look at what is happening with merchants. And I've brought this chart up in the past on kind of the growth. And so number of merchants accepting ETC as a form of payment as of right now is 898. So that is 2 of a increase just in January alone. So for those of you that want to invest in cryptocurrencies or whatever, always look at utility. Of course, Bitcoin is most likely the most notable name out there, but a lot of individuals invest in crap coins and then wonder why the hell it's going down. You want utility, and based on what Trump and the administration, what they're investing in and what they're buying, it is based on utility. So ETC right now, I think once this gets over to, let's say, 1,000, then this is where at the same time it might coincide with possibly a ETF. Right now, there's nothing really in the works on a side note, but still, one thing to take note of though is ETC is ranked number 41. So it did lose 1 point since my last video, and that's just because of ICP really heating up a lot more than its peers. But still, I think it's just a matter of time before ETC really does move higher, although there's not really any crazy catalyst specific to ETC as of right now. Because there's not really anything being worked on the ecosystem that I'm aware of. So I think right now it's just kind of piggybacking off the broader market. And again, nothing really wrong with that, dependent on kind of how you see things. I always like to go over liquidations, like who is selling, who's buying, and everything else. So when it comes down to that, just to give you a quick overview of that, as of right now, you see a lot of, interestingly enough, shorts liquidating. So you have about 96,000 in shorts liquidating and about 5,000 in longs. So I've brought this up in the past. Right now, you're not seeing a crazy short squeeze, but in the past you have. And that's just because of the massive presence of shorts. So for whatever reason, shorts feel justified to return. And I'm sure some of that has to do with just ETC's technicals. Again, I'll go over that in a second. Right now with it at 1306, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So for those of you that want to day trade, swing trade, and so forth, 1238, 1122 is support levels, 1354, and then 1426 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. And it's this damn R1. This 1354, that is going to be the big deal, the big breakout kind of pivot point for ETC. Because quickly going back over here for a second, in the past couple weeks, ETC has shown on numerous occasions that it's really wanted to move higher. Unfortunately, it does bounce off of that range. So it usually bounces off of a key support or resistance point, consolidates. So that is exactly what happened. It hit that, consolidated, tried again, consolidated, and it looks like we're going to have a run up very soon. And usually it's the third case is where you see that breakout. So in general, whether that be today or potentially over this weekend. I anticipate 1350 to be tested again, and most likely it should break. At the same time, it did successfully get over that white line, so the 10-day moving average, signaling that's building up a little bit of momentum, as well as it's breaking above that 50-day moving average. And generally, that is a very big deal. And that's one of the main things why Bitcoin also really started to move higher, and why big money kind of gravitated into Bitcoin. It's because it broke out based on the technicals. Now, a little bit delayed, but it is ETC's turn. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, this is something to watch for. It's going to be that 1350. And if it is able to get above that, going back over here, just referring to this, 1426 and then 1542 is potentially on the table. But then again, as I showed you, just right now alone, liquidations are starting to occur from shorts. So shorts already know that something big might be coming for ETC, and based on the technicals, it honestly could be happening. So let me know your general thoughts on ETC. Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you just relaxing? Like, what are you generally doing with ETC? One final thing, if you're looking for some solid buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.